I got a crazy story to tell y'all, and I understand why people act like this, but it's just not in my DNA to do things like this. These two guys were literally right in front of my face, noticing what I was doing and actively stealing everything that was in this medium storage container filled to the brim with all kinds of goodies. Oh boy. And I just had to sit there and watch. But let's get into this video because I want to tell you all about it, and it has a sweet ending. So you're going to want to wait to know exactly what happened to these guys. Anyways, the purpose of this video is to tell you about how everyone needs a base like this, especially right now when the game is kind of dry, nothing major is happening, and we don't know exactly what's coming next. Hopefully we'll see more meaningful content in the near future, because this latest update was pretty much just a patch to fix a few bugs and change some features, not really to add anything. It was focused on the quality of life improvements. But during times like this, a lot of players are stepping away and trying other games, whether it's the Battlefield open beta that was this weekend, or whatever else looks fun while DuneAwakening is pretty much in an uncertain state. Meanwhile, I've been focusing on building what I call a hibernation bunker because of this. Basically, it's a low maintenance base that doesn't require you to pay taxes at all. Yeah, you heard me right. And a lot of people forget about this because most players only build advanced subfiefs now. But here's the trick. If you build a regular subfief, you don't pay any taxes. That alone solves one of the biggest frustrations of logging back in, which is scrambling to keep your base alive by grinding Solari just to pay upkeep. And that's the thing. The advanced subfief, while it gives you the ability to claim more land, have huge extravagant bases, it also requires you to log in, do farming routes, and consistently earn Solari just to keep a base alive with all of the resources bustling. I think that the advanced subfiefs are for guild bases where there are a lot of people who contribute to keeping the power on, contribute to the taxes, so on and so forth. It's not really for a solo player. It could be if you're active, but in times like these, build a regular subfief and save yourself the hassle. Because with the regular subfief, the only thing you have to worry about is fuel cells. My setup only requires me to log in once every 20 days. That's almost a month. And I haven't even really explored this fully to see if I can get more days off, because I only have 2 fuel generators. If I put more fuel generators, well, I don't know, maybe the days will increase, because I've maxed out so far what I have with only 2, and that gives me 20 days. That means I could do whatever I want, not even think about it, not worry about taxes, not worry about getting attacked or griefed for an entire 20 days. And I think that's perfect for a time like this because it keeps your base alive without chaining to the grind. But hold on a second. I got to tell you this crazy story because while I was building my hibernation bunker, the worst thing ever could have happened. In this base, I had 8 staking units in a really sweet spot that I know a lot of people would have wanted. And I decided to dismantle my base to condense it down to a single cube, henceforth the hibernation bunker. My plan was to store everything in 3 to 4 medium storage containers so that if I ever wanted to rebuild somewhere else or even right here, I'd have all my mats and resources safe. The idea was to keep a low maintenance base with everything important stored away, as I just explained. The problem was, while I was breaking down my base, I left my storage containers outside of my subfief's protection. Now, this was my mistake, okay? I shouldn't have broken down my base before I created the exact infrastructure I needed with everything in my territory. So I started breaking everything down, and it just ended up being this open space that anybody can see from a distance. Clearly, they knew that this real estate was free. So when I broke it down, I left my storage containers outside of the range of my subfief's protection, and just as I was doing this, someone flew in with an ornithopter, scoped out the area, and noticed my storage containers were vulnerable. Thankfully, I reacted quickly and dropped my subfief, moved it near them, and protected my storage containers. So he left. And so I proceeded to move my storage containers back into the area where I planned to place my cube. I had 3 of them. In the 4th one, I was just having a little bit of trouble getting back and placing it because there was no room. So I moved my subfief again back to the range of my 3 storage containers, right? Do you know that this guy dropped back in with his ornithopter? I guess he was watching me the whole time. Placed his advanced subfief right where my last storage container was. Mind you, this was a medium storage container with 100 items in it, filled to the brim. I'm talking about plastanium, crazy weapons, Mark 6 weapons. It was just one of my best storage containers. And I was sitting there like, this guy's serious? He placed his sub-fief and then he placed a fuel generator, just powered up the base and got a shield, and it was his base. Now, I looked and I removed my sub-fief because I'm like, how can I salvage this? Can I get some space somewhere? And I couldn't. I had to place down a normal sub-fief outside of the range of his, right on the cliff. And I looked, his sub-fief was just shy of claiming all 3 of my other storage containers that were sitting right there. As you can see here, I was like, wow, he almost had everything. So I had to think fast, right? Because I don't know if they were going to get any staking units to claim some more land. I think that's what they're probably trying to do. I'm like, what can I do? Can I rebuild my ornithopter so I could put everything in the storage and make another sub-fief over here and then transfer it? I was just thinking about everything. Then a light bulb went off in my head and I had the perfect idea. I said, if I can't have this land, they can't either. So I placed 2 sub-fiefs, one on one side and one on the other side, so that I could stop them from expanding. Because everybody knows that in DuneAwakening, when you make a base with an advanced sub-fief, you have a plan to make an extravagant palace that overlooks the cliffside. Something beautiful that everyone is envious of and wants and looks at in awe upon flying by with their ornithopters. I'm like, they're not going to have that experience. So one of them I placed above on the cliffside so they can't expand vertically. The other one I placed right at their front door so that we could be neighbors. Once I did this, I then focused on clearing everything else out because I wanted to make sure that they couldn't expand to the point where they can claim my other 3 storage units. This way I was able to gather all of my gear, mats, weapons, all of that in peace. Thankfully, I provided the infrastructure right here with stairs so that I could go back and forth with my buggy to the other small base that I created with the storage units. And this session wasn't even supposed to be that long. I was just supposed to dismantle my advanced sub-fief base and create a simple cube base with 3 or 4 storage units. But after they did this, it lit a fire under me. It made me determined to completely destroy their experience. And this is what I ended up with. A nice little house on the hill with a bunker, simple base, no taxes, 20 days without worrying about anything. And as you can see, I have fuel cells right in the vicinity so that when I log back in the next 3 weeks or more, I can grab my buggy, refuel with 500 to 1,000 and have another 20 days. The base that I made up top on a cliff turned into pretty much an ornithopter hangar bay and just something that I can use for storage if I need to. This also is low maintenance and has 20 days as well. Now the sweet ending to this was that I logged in this morning and noticed that they were completely gone. They're no longer here because they realized that this is dead real estate and you can't expand. So now I can rest in peace knowing that this base is protected if I want to rebuild here. I don't really think anybody else is going to try and claim this land because you can't expand if you do. And I just wanted to show you this to help you out if you were thinking about how you could still preserve your base in this time where you don't really feel like playing as much. Well, I think this is the perfect way because as a solo player, you don't really need much. You just need a way to protect your resources or keep them in a safe spot until you're ready to build again. And 3 or 4 medium storage units is the perfect amount of storage needed in order to do that. So when I'm ready to rebuild, whenever they add some substantial content, I'm good to go. Definitely let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching to the end, and if you enjoy this, if it helped you out in any way, then don't hesitate to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'll see you in the next one. Be right out.